Dr. Denise Hertz, who was she was early on the list to get the vaccine because she is a doctor and she's treating people. So why don't you give us a little bit of early background on when you got the vaccine and what happened, just a quick brief intro.
Yes, my name is Denise Hertz. I got the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, on December 23rd of 2020 at my hospital that I've worked at for many years. And I waited my 15 minutes. I felt fine. I left. And by the time I got to my car, I noticed that my face was burning and tingling. So instead of going to do what I had planned to do, I decided I better go home. And by the time I got home, I felt like I was going to faint. So I had my husband call 911. The paramedics came. My blood pressure was sky high, but otherwise they thought I looked okay and left me. And, I started on a regimen for an allergic reaction. I called an allergist and I became, within the next couple days, extremely ill. I went to bed. I had severe painful paresthesias, which are burning, tingling pain in my face particularly, but also throughout my body. I also felt a tight band-like constriction around my chest, like someone was trying to kill me with a rope. And I had ringing in my ears, blurred vision, headache. I couldn't eat. I thought I was dying. I called many doctors. No one had heard of anything. I was treated with steroids and antihistamines for 2 weeks without any improvement. And by then I started seeking other care outside of my community because I couldn't find any doctors to help me. So I started calling doctors all over the country.
Yeah, which is interesting because you are a doctor, you are in the medical community. And then, of course, you started doing some research. You looked on websites. You got onto Neurology Today. You left a message,
yes,
comment on the article, which is very common these days for people to be able to do that. And instead of putting your name, you put your email address. And that was inadvertently you did that, yeah, by mistake. But that's how other people found you. That's how my wife found you, that she was looking for answers. And she found your comment and she said, oh my gosh, a doctor, let me email her. And then you eventually, you and a few others, you had formed this private Facebook group of just a few people, but then over time it grew. And I got to tell you, I'm amazed as I talk to and interview the different people that are in the group, they feel so valued, validated, cared for, supported, protected by you. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. So you have certainly thousands of people, and now you have people in the media. Well, just even recently, YouTube put a disinformation label on some of the videos that have gone out of people simply just telling their stories. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? It's like, I'm telling my story, which we're a culture, at least from a sociologist, right? We're a culture that's starting to highly value people's narratives, right? People's stories. And now you have people sharing their stories, and you have you have YouTube saying misinformation. What do you make of that?
It's unbelievable. The beliefs that we live with that run our country, like freedom of speech, freedom, to get information, all of these things have been cut out for us. We have to be very careful on Facebook what we post. Everything gets censored. We have had medical articles censored saying they aren't, valid. And every comment almost that is written, and nothing is anti-vax. It's just talking, like you said, about what's happening to us, what our symptoms are. We get a little post on each item saying the vaccines have been proven to be safe and effective. I don't even see those anymore because they're literally on every post that is placed on Facebook. So the censorship is hard to understand. It all goes along with this push to get everyone vaccinated, but it's really taking away our inalienable rights as citizens of this country to be able to have freedom of speech.
I think that, yeah, I validate that exactly. Okay. The other thing too that I've noticed is, so when you speak out and speak your story, like a lot of the people in your group and other groups, right, or just the larger umbrella of people, when you speak out and you share your story, your experience, and people see that and people know, I mean, people sense, oh, this is legit, this is honest, this is transparent. And in a cancel culture, courageous, because you're gonna take some arrows potentially, right? So you're courageous, you're being honest. People sense that, and then the social media, and the mainstream media and the government, right, pushes back against that,
Right.
and you guys are the ones that are eroding public trust in our social institutions. I would say, as a sociologist looking at that, it's like, no, it's not the people speaking their truth that's eroding. It's when I watch or others watch you guys speak, tell your truthful and honest and transparent stories, and then you get canceled, ghosted, censored by our social institutions. That's what it's our social institutions pushing back against the people that erodes trust in our social institutions. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, you know, we speaking out as individuals and groups has taken courage. None of us have been in this role before, and we don't really like being in this role, but we're desperate for help. And to be knocked down by the media, to be, you know, to have our integrity and our honesty questioned, and to have to prove, you know, our truth to these institutions is beyond my understanding. We are saying we're sick, we're hurt, we need help. That's all. To knock us down is the wrong way to do it.
Well, I can't think of a better way to end this interview, but maybe there's something else you'd like to share, a perspective that I didn't cover. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I just want, you know, what has happened to this group of people to be made public so that we can get help, that we can educate the medical community, figure out what has happened to us, understand the science behind it, get treatments for us so we don't have to go on and on and on being so ill. I've been like this for 6 months now. I have no hope of improving. I need help. And that's all that we're asking for. We're not anti-vaxxers. We want people to get vaccinated. We get the vaccine. We just want help. We want to get better. We want to get back to our lives. That's all that we're asking for. We've been abandoned.
In the morning, I still get a little bit nervous. Fighting my anxiety constantly, I try to control it. Even when I know it's been forever, I can still feel the spin. Urge when I remember, and I never wanna feel it again. Don't know if you get it, 'cause I can't express, so thankful